legend where magic meets the heart. Commander Pod, where the stories unfold, with heroes and villains new and old. Dungeons and Dragons got the word, in a world of easy we play.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to Commander's Pod. I am your Podfather.
I'm Sloan.
And I'm Jeffrey.
And today we are going to talk about the etiquette of Magic the Gathering, specifically Commander.
Indeed.
Yes. So, you don't look very angry today, Jeffrey.
Well, yes, that wouldn't be very proper of me now, would it?
No.
Proper gentlemen do not lose their temper or become aggravated. However, proper gentlemen do understand breakfast. And so I have some important information to bring to you today. One, that every proper gentleman should understand that the scone, although the most pretentious of all breakfast treats, is underrated and should be eaten more often. Also, it is important for every American proper gentleman to understand that the cronut is actually the greatest American breakfast food. Bacon is right there with it too, but this is a French pastry that we've taken, fried, stuck sweetener into, put sugar on top of, and then drizzled with chocolate. So we've just taken the dumb French pastry and made it great. So if you're into making pastry great again, that's how you do it, cronut.
Indubitably. But let's get into the etiquette of Commander.
Yes.
So the first one we wanted to talk about is kindly obtain leave before touching cards that are not your own.
Yes.
And by that we mean ask.
Yes, and if I was a lesser gentleman, of course, that might have been aggro Jeffs in the past. But as Jeffrey, I would not get aggravated, but I would kindly ask them to stop.
Yes. Some of these cards are worth quite a bit of money. They are quite the investment.
Indeed.
So your less than sanitized hands upon mine cards might not be looked upon so friendly.
Yes, it's the behavior of a troglodyte, a cave-dwelling human.
Yes.
Yes, and even if sometimes monetarily they are not worth that in which you believe to be a lot, sometimes the sentimental value of said card is very highly sought after and maybe worth more to the person than monetary value. So keep that in mind as well.
Yes.
And just in general, don't touch what's not yours.
Indeed.
So, Sloan, would you like to read the next one?
Of course. One must never rap or drum upon the cards, particularly when they belong to another, i.e., don't tap on someone's property.
What does this do?
Indeed, for the same previous reason, they could be worth a lot of money, and you're tapping on something that could have cost somebody a hefty part of their salary.
Well, and etiquette would say that if it is wrong to tap on another's cards, it's also improper etiquette to tap on your own.
Indeed.
Just because they're yours doesn't mean you need to act slovenly.
That is very true. Very true.
Be disciplined. Control your fingers.
Yes. Would you like to take the next one, Jeffrey?
Sure. Civility at the table demands both a playmat beneath and sleeves about one's cards. Yes. I recently ran into a man who was living out on the road. He had lost everything in his life. He was destitute, poor, and as his last dime. And as speaking to him, it became apparent that this behavior led to it. So unless you want to be in his predicament, one should consider these rules very well. They lead to civility.
Of course. I mean, we are not in the times of ye old of the 1900s where fresh a start this game was and protection was near in sight. No. We have advanced. We are not troglodytes. We are not those who...
We have evolved.
We have evolved. Evolved to the point of protection from dragons themselves.
Yes.
So find yourself the shield of the dragon for your cards. And those who think, I need not the playmat, how dare you think you're better than the rest? Remember, etiquette is not only simply what you do, but how you are perceived by others.
So, to Jeffrey's point about the homeless man, I thought he was going with the story of, this is actually a true story. There is a gentleman who plays at the shop every once in a while. he lives out in the wild, shall we say. But even he has a play mat and sleeves about his cards. So if he can do it, so caneth you.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yep. So next. A gracious player neither proclaims the win that might have been, nor disparages the win that was.
Ah, yes.
This is a very common one.
It is indeed. For once one has won a battle, it is not polite for you to simply insinuate their win was only because of your downfall,
Yes.
but rather their own intelligence and their own schemes in which they hatched.
Or that if you had just been given one more chance, you might have overcome the obstacles and won the day. That didn't happen.
It did not.
No.
And if you continue in that direction, it is likely that you never will.
Right.
Yeah, you will never be able
Be
to
a lesser
win
person.
because less and less people want to be with those who are not etiquette.
And then the other part, if somebody wins, they won. If there is
Indeed.
not a rule broken,
Yes,
or
a high five or a proper handshake is
Well-
more the etiquette of the day.
A tipping of the hat.
Yes,
Well,
if you have one.
and to
if
that
you
point-
don't, be better.
and to that
Get a
point,
hat.
Sloan, will you read the next one?
Of course. When another triumphs, offer your applause with sincerity and good cheer. They have done something great. It is but only polite to make sure that you recognize the greatness in which they have achieved. Men do not tear each other down to make themselves feel better, but rather they lift each other up.
Especially if they've defeated me.
Indeed. A task definitely worth celebrating.
So this goes with the other.
Indeed.
How might one applaud someone else's triumphs with sincerity and good cheer? What
there-
are appropriate reactions?
Well, so there is various reactions. First, there is the golf clap, 2 fingers, thusly.
Indeed.
yes.
A favored one amongst the higher.
The snap, yes, if you're trying not to make too much noise.
The sincere and one of my personal favorites, slow clap, is always well
Slow clap
received.
can be perceived as mocking, so you have to be careful. It has to be given sincerely, otherwise
Of
it will have
course.
the opposite
Unless
effect.
you're just slow of mind.
But of course, then there is the normal applause.
Indeed.
The fist bump,
Indeed.
that is always welcome. And
Which should be carried out correctly with the snail
that
in
might,
proper societies.
that might be viewed as less than sincere.
It's not. It is the highest form of flattery.
I thought the TIE fighter.
You're wrong. Shush.
The TIE Fighter is quite elegant as well.
Yes. But yeah, so basically do not say, well, I would have won if you hadn't. Don't mock them for their win, and in fact, congratulate them on their win. And if you don't want to do any of those digital gestures we just showed, and don't do the one you're thinking of, then perhaps just say, good job.
Indeed, and move on. Because there is always another game to be
A
had.
nice dance could be too, like a jig.
A jig? Yes.
you be
and in
really
the right-
happy
in
and
the
give them
right-
a jig.
St. Patrick's Day is coming up. That might be a good day for a jig.
Absolutely.
And-
A quality jig, a sincere jig, I think is the way to
And
go.
speaking of moving on, let's move on.
So, Jeffrey?
In the twilight of your
No.
game, deal not in hidden king-making. Speak your intent or abstain.
Indeed. There is always a part of the time when during the game there might be a point in which you have been given the duty of making someone else the king.
Perhaps you have no chance,
Indeed.
and your death is imminent.
Perhaps. And sometimes this situation, there is either simply stating, this is what I think is best for the table at this moment, or simply saying, I'm going to do nothing and let you two figure it out because I'm pretty much dead at it.
Proper etiquette at this time would be of manly pursuits. One does not go out like a bia. One should double down and take what damage they can get till you lose. Be a man.
Indeed.
Or a woman who is acting like a man.
Or, yes, well, we won't get into all that. It can get quite
Well,
confusing.
deadly pursuits and killing and murder tends not to be womanly.
Well, but
Though we approve of the gaming of the young ladies
yes,
and the older ones, I suppose.
Yes.
Don't see many of those.
yep. But let us move on once again. A gracious player does not scoop in anger nor in petty protest.
Ah, indeed. The true sign of someone with true etiquette is
Yes.
someone who can withstand from their frustrations of denying others that which is rightfully theirs.
Yes.
For instance, if they are going to get something from you
Indeed.
as they kill you, do not scoop so that you think they can deny them their rewards.
Nor deny them their resources by saying, I scoop in response to you declaring attackers, so you waste your attackers. No proper man of proper etiquette would dare do such a thing.
Or proper
Etiquette
woman.
requires decorum.
Yes.
This
does.
is an issue of decorum. Conduct yourself properly.
And this is something that many people will do. And we have developed among our gentlemen's group a policy that if somebody does scoop,
Keel haul.
that comes after, but during the game,
Yes.
allow whatever actions would have happened to happen as if they had not scooped.
Yes,
Indeed.
and then mock said person lacking in decorum until they desire for a more manly pursuit in life.
Indeed.
Yes, or another location by which to seat
This
themselves.
is incredibly difficult to do the entire time, and it's probably be terrible to listen to.
Yeah,
I'm so
absolutely. But
sorry.
we're almost there.
Well, yes. So, yes, do not scoop at instant speed is also part of this.
Indeed. Should you mean to concede, declare your intent with all due haste and do so only upon your own turn. So going along with our last rule of etiquette, this is something that if you see yourself no longer enjoying the present company of those you are with or the game in which you are playing, instead of wasting the resources of those around you, let them know, on my turn, I believe I will just end the game myself by removing myself from it. Doing so, make sure everyone understands that that was your intent, and therefore they understand that you are ready to remove yourself from the game in a gracious and etiquette way.
Perhaps your
Yes.
spouse have calleth you home
Indeed.
and said, you have been gone too long, my love, as they often do.
I beckon for the presence.
Yes, in all politeness and with all love portrayed in their voice.
Indeed.
Yes.
And so you may be summoned by a greater power, as it
Yeah.
were.
Or, also, etiquette could dictate that the friend's man card should come into play. And major hijinks can ensue to allow you to stay at the shop longer with your friends.
This is true.
And should you not help your friend, etiquette would demand that you lose your man card.
Yes.
The man card can actually be a woman card, too.
Yes.
It works the same way.
Yes.
Indeed.
But the point is that there are times when you cannot fulfill your obligation to finish the game. So announce the timeline in which you will be conceding.
Indeed.
Yes,
And
and
then
explain
try-
to everyone that you have no control of your own life and you're a punk.
Yes. And explain that the whip has been brought forth.
Yes.
Yes. And try to, when you leave, to do so on your turn. If possible, it may not be, but as long as you give everybody enough notice, it should be okay.
Indeed.
Is this one Jeffrey, I believe?
Indeed it is.
A dignified player does not cast a sweeping ruin and vanish thereafter, unless such an act is agreed upon by all assembled. Yes, one must not fart and then run.
No.
no?
This is speaking
You're
of
allowed
board
to
wipes.
fart and run?
Yeah.
I prefer.
Yes.
I would run
I would
first.
prefer you run then fart.
Yeah, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Proper.
And I believe you mean break wind, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
Flatulence.
But yes, removing the entire board state and then deciding that you would like to leave the game instantly after, probably what some would say is what a rabble-rouser would do.
Yes, it's I believe the analogy is tossing a grenade and then running away.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Which is how grenades are to be used.
This is true. Well, you're actually supposed to throw them far away so that you don't have to run after.
Yes. But yes, if your intent is to do a complete annihilation of the present game to all those accompanying you, and then leave post-haste unless everyone agrees upon it, I would highly advise in the etiquette of the ways of commander not to do so.
Now, you may not get everyone, because usually in those instances there is one cad that is the problem at the table.
Indeed.
And you are trying to help everybody by doing this.
Yes.
And you should call this person out and ruin their character. And then duel them and kill them.
Of course, if they're Andrew, you should kill them first.
Yes.
Of course, always.
Pray, do not insult the table with transparent falsehoods.
Yes, you want your falsehoods to be very opaque.
Yes. Well, this, I believe the common term is gaslighting.
Yes.
Yes. The I'm not the threat defense.
Yes.
When thy board state doth state otherwise.
Yes, we are not 1920 lamps. We do not need to be gaslit upon this. We can see with our own eyes what you are. And do not lie to us what you are perceiving. We all know who the threat is. There's no reason for you to lie and act as if it is not thee.
It's not me.
But there are times where falsehood can be acceptable at the table. There are certain things you can not lie
to
about.
defeat your opponent.
Well, but my point is, the point of this card is, don't make it, when it's very obvious what the situation is, don't try and say it as a...
Yeah, don't be obnoxious.
Yes.
Indeed.
Don't be as obnoxious as we are
Unless
being.
you're wearing...
Unless you're wearing a suit, of course, and a bow tie and have a
Yes.
pipe. A vanquished player offers no counsel that might tilt the crown, unless in the gentle instruction of a novice. This one simply means that if you have been removed from the game, you should no longer be assisting other players who are still in the game on how to win the game. Now, with that being said, there is a caveat. If there is a new player who is still learning and trying to understand the game, there is times where you can come alongside and assist to help them grasp what they are trying to do, because most novice players don't fully understand the game as well as maybe us etiquette veteran players do.
Yes, novice players are encouraged to give the enemy advice.
But encouraged most wholeheartedly.
Yes. But yes, in the times in which you are playing, make sure that if you are no longer in the game, you are not assisting others in defeating your foes that have so clearly casted you out already.
Yes. Yep.
And as the Honorable Will Smith would say, get them words out your mouth.
Yes, indeed.
And Jeffrey, would you take the last one, please?
Be not the player who gladly accepts refreshment, yet offers none in return. Cheap.
Yes. Well, some people cannot afford to buy drinks for everyone, and this is understandable. But then you should not be accepting drinks from people when they say, would everybody like a drink?
And certainly not be buying cards with your money when you claim you have none.
Yes.
And accepting others' generosity.
Yes. Do not go buy that anime borderless ristic study.
Yes.
And then claim you can't pay for your soda.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. And it is something in which it's very looked down upon to take things from people and never offer anything in return off of generosity.
Yes, and your presence is not that wonderful.
Yes. Us merely knowing you exist is not exactly what I would say as a repayment
Yes.
of said
These
gratitude.
refreshments are not a tithe to you.
Indeed. Your purse strings might be tight, but try to loosen them a little bit occasionally if you can.
So that is the rules of etiquette.
Indeed.
Now,
That's where I need my notes.
since we are done with that, we still have a little bit of time.
Indeed.
We can.
I have more etiquette.
Doth
I do.
Doth Jeffrey have more?
Yes,
He did
more.
not share with the
So, language. Language is a pursuit that requires training. It is not of ill repute for you to begin training your mind to use better words. If your vocabulary is low, get a word of the day calendar and practice it, because words are important. They create.
I
or
believe
they
you are
destroy.
speaking of French words specifically, are you?
Oh, there are some French words for sure.
Yes.
Yes. Also, respecting people's personal space and respecting their time. One of the ways you respect someone's personal space is how you dress, bathe, and take care of yourself.
I don't think
which
we
we've
have to
talked
worry
about
the dress.
before.
Yes, the dress is not a problem for us here.
Not everybody wears this, yes? So, and then also when you're speaking to people, listening and not interrupting. I mean, honestly, it's a big deal. You're going to a place to have fun and to play with your friends, and we're talking about proper etiquette, which is great. But one of the serious issues is you may view your time at the shop as your time, but that's the time you're going to be known, your name, who you are. One might say your house, right? So how you represent yourself and your entire family in your house makes a big difference. You ought to, conduct yourself in a manner that's respectable. And that's by listening to people and not interrupting.
Indeed. Conversations are two-way streets, not one-way streets. If you're only ever saying and never listening, you're not really having a conversation. You're just saying things.
And the other thing is, there are people that think they listen, but they are just waiting for their turn to talk.
Indeed.
Right. Yeah.
And that is not appropriate either. You should be actively listening, or else you can come across as a fool.
And then respecting time, too, is important because so all of us play at different speeds, but if you're like me and you like to think a lot before you play cards, that just means what you should be doing out of respect for your friends. And even those people who haven't become friends yet, you should be practicing, so that you try to get a little bit faster in your play.
All seriousness, Jeff used to be a real problem at this. Like, he used to take long turns. And I don't think I've had a problem with his turns in a long time.
I've gotten slightly better.
Of course, he doesn't play much Magic anymore. Maybe that's it.
It's hard to find time with Magic when you're so pro.
Indeed. I will like to speak on the language one too, because one thing I will say is, even though you are in a public space and you feel as if you can say whatever you want and do whatever you want, it is respectful to other people around in the area who you don't know that may not be as used to the language in which you are using, specifically the French words that you keep pardoning yourself for using. Furthermore,
or not pardoning.
Or not pardoning sometimes. Furthermore, especially in the shop that we go to, there are some younger people that tend to visit. And when I say younger, I mean sub-18. And you don't know what their parenting upbringing is, and you don't know if their parents use those words around their kids, and you shouldn't assume that they do. And so in order to be polite to those in the shop around you, because you don't know what kind of language they do or do not have in their lives, try to restrain your tongue in times. And if you do feel the need to say something on the more vulgar side, try to do it in silence, or maybe go outside and
have
air
someone
your
hold
grievances.
a pillow over your face.
Yes.
While you say it, and maybe longer. In all seriousness, though, you watch your language, because remember, if you're going out into public, you may think that's for you, but you're in public. So, act accordingly. Otherwise, stay home and play on your computer.
Indeed.
You can say whatever you want at your own house.
Did you have any more? Or?
No.
Okay. So
I can't keep that voice, though.
No.
I want to keep it through that.
I wanted to take a minute to say, in all seriousness, many of these things we all do.
Yeah.
It's not, none of these things are something that's like, literally the first time you do it, you are shunned and thrown out of the shop.
Yeah.
These are kind of the lesser known things that all of us have done at some time or another. Some of them are social cues within the game that you may or may not pick up on your own. But we did think it was important to go over these and talk about them. And we've been wanting to do this episode for a while, but for our 100th episode, we thought it would be fun to dress up and do it properly.
Indeed.
And so we hope it wasn't too obnoxious, because it was fun doing.
Indeed.
Yeah, and they're good rules. Joking aside, like, it is important to understand that you're doing something that's a public group kind of event.
Yeah.
And so, it's just, you may think like, oh, this is the perception I want to put out there. I would just encourage you to take a step back and think about it. Is that really the perception you want to put out there? So, like, I've seen people before that are like, they're really good people, good morals, good likable people that used to lie a lot playing Magic. And then they realized, oh, wait a second. Like, that's not actually how I want to be thought of. Like, even though it's just a game and you could go, well, it's just a game, people don't think that way. And so they changed the way they behaved Not because they were ever a bad person or they were ever a liar in real life, but just because they recognized that's how they were being perceived.
Right. And so there are people that will, I've talked about there was the guy who made a deal with me and then immediately was like, oh, I had no intention of keeping that. Like just blatantly, not like things changed or, no, like as soon as it got to his turn, he goes, just so you know, I was lying. Yeah. And if that's how you play, that's up to you.
You have a right to do all that stuff. It's just that you need to understand others will perceive you a certain way. But and you don't get to tell them how to perceive you.
Right. But this is one where it's not widespread agreed
upon.
No.
That's why I brought it up. It's pretty rare.
But the way I kind of feel about it is, in the beginning, I think more players will do this. And as you get to be a better player, you're like, I don't need to lie to win the game.
Yeah.
The other thing that I was going to make a card for, and I was like, is it too niche? If you are the type of player that is very protective of your cards, more so than what we talked about, I've run into this at conventions several times. Somebody will be playing, and somebody plays a card that says they get to control the person's card, and the person will be like, I scoop. I don't let people touch my cards. Say that at the beginning.
Yeah. Also, maybe don't. I mean,
don't play
it's
that
a little
deck,
ridiculous. Maybe. Don't play that deck. I mean, that's just silly.
Or if you're going to play it, say, I will only play this deck if nobody's going to play control cards because I don't like.
But that's really hard to control because you have a random. What's the one where it's a 3 and 2 blue and you go get a card out of someone's deck?
Yeah.
That.
Commandeer.
I forget which one it is, but anyways, those will be in random decks that I have. It's not a theft deck. I'm not going to remember it's there.
Yeah.
I think you could also do things like, hey, if you're going to do that, just let me put my card over here. I'm not going to have anyone touch it, and let's just have another card to represent that card.
But
let's find another way to resolve the issue.
I would say if you're the person who's going to be playing a steel deck, infinite tokens are your best friend. Get a whole stack of them for $10. You can get 500 of them. They're dry erase, and all you can simply say is, "Hey, I'm going to steal that, but I know if you don't want me to touch it, that's fine. I'm just going to write down this infinite token, and can you just put it off to the side so you know you don't have it, I have it, it's right here."
And that's truly respectful.
Yeah, and that's
honestly.
And at that point, if they're still not okay with it, I don't know what to tell you.
You want to talk about winning friends and influencing people? That person is going to feel really cared for at that point.
That is another thing. There's some responsibility on both sides because if you are playing a steel deck, there are people besides the people I'm talking about that have real strong feelings.
I'm one of them. I don't like it. I don't like people because the tapping and the different things that they do.
The greasy chicken wing fingers.
You don't get to control any of that. And that's to me.
Right.
I'm not super comfortable with it, but I did make a more expensive deck, a bling deck, and I have double sleeved it. But the problem with that is when you double sleeve, you can't see the cards as good because then you got two sleeves on it.
Well, I mean, I don't think you're sleeving it.
The foil doesn't come through.
It's because a lot of his are foiled, so it's really hard once you have the second sleeve.
I haven't had that problem, but regardless, I do think it would actually be funny if you are playing a control deck. Be like, all right. Hold on, let me get ready to touch your card and get the hand sanitizer, cotton gloves. Just start with that gag.
When you go into one of those expensive watch stores and come out with the white gloves.
The white gloves.
That'd be amazing. We should all three of us show up to play a game at the shop like that.
With all of us have to have steel decks.
White gloves.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. But I mean, there's little things, and obviously, guys, you're gonna run into niche things like things that we didn't cover. But these are just kind of general things that, in the years of playing that we've played with each other and played at the shop and the conventions that Duncan's gone to, these are things that you see and you notice and you kind of pick up, and hopefully they're things that will help you guys realize there's certain things that you can do to make the experience better for somebody else, which will also ultimately help make it better for you too, because you're going to have less strife and less headbutting occurring in those games when you're trying to do these things to make sure it's more enjoyable for the other player. Because at the end of the day, again, it's a game.
And also, the advice used to be do unto others as you would have them do unto yourself. But my experience in this world is that doesn't work. Because the chaos player wants you to chaos. The land destruction player wants you to land destruction. Yes. And the person that's getting loud and angry at the table kind of thinks it's fun for other people to get loud and angry. So I think you really have to... This episode is about etiquette. And etiquette is not what you think is best. Table etiquette at a restaurant isn't, I think it's okay to chew with my mouth open, so I can. No,
Right.
etiquette says it's not your rule. There actually are rules. Which
Right.
spoon do you use? Which fork do you use? What plate do you use? Like, there are rules on how to behave. What we're trying to suggest is that in Magic, even when you're going to have fun, there are rules when you're playing a cooperative type
Social
of
game.
a social game. And so you do need to think about that, and you better yourself by doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another one, and this is one that is a famous story that Lizard likes to tell. And again, though, I don't think it's as widespread, so I didn't make a card for it. If you're watching a game, don't be like getting eating at the at the end of the table. You're just watching, but you're eating and you're getting crumbs everywhere.
Yeah.
And in the instance Lizard talked about, the guy coughed and like potato chip bits went everywhere.
No.
So be mindful of that too. Even if you're not playing, you still need to be mindful of maybe take a few steps back while you're eating your bag of chips.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, bags of chips are hard anyways because
Yeah.
your fingers are.
They're gonna get greasy.
Fingers.
Oh, but they're not playing. They're only watching. So they're
They're
like,
eventually going to play.
Yeah, they'll go to the
and they're going to
bathroom.
steal my card.
well, they might go to the bathroom. They might go to the bathroom. and wash their
Troglodyte.
hands.
A rabble rouser.
Just go wash your hands afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so this is our 100th episode.
It
I
is.
just want to do this finally. I thought it was fun. How do you guys feel after, for you, 97 episodes, after 100 episodes? Well, actually, you've missed a bunch, maybe 60.
I'm tired. I'm tired. Hey, my kids are here next week, I think,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So next week, I will not be here, but I will be replaced by two even better individuals.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
So next week, yes, we'll have a special episode with Jeff's kids about their experiences with Magic. And
This would be good for all dads to tune into. If you got youngins that want to hear the point of view. My children are 13 and 14 years old, both boys. They got some opinions, and we'll see how it goes. But it should be, at the very least, it will be interesting.
And I want since Sloan's going to be there, I need you to be the guy to ask the kids, how long does your dad take on his turns?
Yeah.
Does he try and politic you like insane amounts?
Oh yeah.
And do you regret it every single time?
I do. I've had moments that I've done things in games and hurt their feelings, and felt terrible afterwards. Every dad has done it, where it's like, I got to beat my kids, and then afterwards you're like, did I really have to beat them? And then I do it again.
Yeah.
So apparently, yes.
So
I mean, you can't give up wins easily. What are we raising here?
Right,
You gotta earn it, man.
Yeah, I have an 11-year-old, and she loves playing Super Smash Bros. With me, and I tell her every time, if she wants to go against me, that's fine, but I will defeat you 3-0. I will not take one single livestock. And I beat her every time.
Yep.
And she's like, oh, you're so much better. I was like, I've been playing for 30 years. I hope I'm better than an
That's right.
11-year-old.
And still haven't grown up.
Yeah. No,
Still doing it 30 years.
She does love playing games with me and playing against me and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's in us.
It's different. Now my kids are 13 and 14 years old, dude. I can't beat them at anything. I mean, maybe Madden or like NBA because they're not too into sports.
Right.
But separate from
So
that,
Magic's
they
all he
destroy
has.
me.
Yeah.
Magic is all he has that he could still beat them at.
Yeah, Magic and probably sports games which they don't play. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they kill me at video games.
And you could talk a little bit about
I still
that.
win at Civilization. I'd still win at
No,
Civilization.
you beat everybody at Civilization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you only play the one version, so you've memorized like all the best
It's not
strategies.
memorizing. It's just, but you do know what the different things have. But
Right.
Yeah. Like I heard they came out with 7 and like nobody plays it.
I don't think they do. Civ 5 is great.
Yeah,
But
6
after
was
that,
not
I don't
good.
think it was good.
Yeah.
But that's about it for this week. It's a little bit of a shorter episode, but I think it was fun. I think it was something that we've been wanting to do. Like I said, it had definite merit to do this episode.
Right.
So, you don't have your script in front of you.
Well, let's see if I can do it.
Let's test it. Where can they find us?
If you guys want to watch us, we are a video podcast. You can find us on youtube.com/commanderspod. At commanderspod, dang it. I knew one of them was at commanderspod, one's not. You can also support us at patreon.com/commanderspod. You can visit our website, commanderspod.com. And if you want to email us, cast@commanderspod.com. to send us recommendations for either future episodes. If you have questions or concerns you want us to address, deck techs you want us to do. Heck, if you want to see some of our decks and have us do those, we'd be more than happy to show you some of the decks that we've built and how we've evolved them over the years and changed them.
I mean, I don't have that many.
Oh my gosh, he has too many. And then of course for our audio part, you can find us anywhere you can find an audio podcast: iHeartRadio, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Spotify, which is also video podcast now as well.
Oh, good job. He didn't forget that part.
Et cetera, et cetera. And I want to say before Duncan signs out, happy 100, guys.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been 100. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Thank you.
Honestly, it's we keep doing this because we have people supporting us and that enjoy us and come up to us and tell us all the time, they like the podcast and
Yep.
they love listening to it. And so we always love hearing from you guys. So please do send it in. But again, thank you so much. Happy 100 episodes.
And as always, play bold, swing wide, don't forget to pay the one. It does.
We'll leave our mark.